Hello, everyone. I hope you are able to see me and also see the topic of the day.
Yes, yes.
Today, I am here with the topic which is already written here. That you can see that what I am going to talk today is the molecularity of the reaction.
Yes,
What I am discussing is the molecularity of the reaction. We have been telling you about the kinetics last time what I have told you last time, what we have done. Last time we have discussed with you what I discussed last time. I am going to recap it. Order of the reaction. Then we told you about the rate law. I told you about the rate law. And we told you that order of a reaction is something determined experimentally. For any reaction, the order is always determined experimentally, and we have shown you some examples where we have given you data obtained from the experiment in order to find the rate law or rate expression. Rate law or rate expression. This is a very important, this is something very important what we do for the rate law. The rate law which I told you is very important. And what we told you about that, for example, we have given you some numericals by which we were able to find the order of the reaction. We were able to determine what we determined the order of the reaction. So we were able to find the order of the reaction by using the rate law. Today I'm going to talk a very important topic, which is the molecularity of the reaction. So here, what is the meaning of the molecularity of the reaction and what is the need of the molecularity? As we told you that any reaction which takes place is the result of, any reaction which takes place is the result of collisions between the particles of the reactants. Unless the reactants will collide, the reaction will not take place. Unless the reactants will collide, there will be no reaction, that we already know. Therefore, we are saying in order to perform a reaction, the molecules must collide. For example, if I consider a reaction between A reacts with B to form C, then A and B must collide in order to form the products. If the collisions are not there, they two will not hit each other and will not meet each other. Therefore, the reaction is not possible. Hence, I am saying we have defined molecularity of a reaction, which is not the order of the reaction. In order, we told you the rate law for a reaction. For example, for this reaction, the rate law can be written as equal to some constant a to the power x and b to the power y, where x and y are the order with respect to reactant A, y is the order with respect to reactant B. The total order of the reaction is x plus y. When I say molecularity means this we said ki x and y. How you determined x and y? Experimentally. This was what we already know. This was determined by experimental information, by experiment. Already we have done it. Now I'm saying the molecularity is only a theoretical concept which indicates that the number of molecules which must collide in an elementary reaction to form the products. This is only a theoretical concept, which I am talking about today. But this concept is very important in order to predict the mechanisms of the reaction. If I want to predict the mechanisms of the reaction, then I have to use molecularity of a reaction. That is one of the reasons why we use of molecularity. So here I have given you a definition. As you can see, molecularity in chemistry. Molecularity in chemistry is the number of molecules that come together to react in an elementary single step reaction. Now this is something very important which I'm talking of. I'm underlining it. Why is it important? I'm saying this point is important. I will explain to you what is the meaning of elementary single step reaction. Here I am saying this is equal to sum of the stoichiometric coefficients of reactant in this elementary reaction. So what I am presenting here, in this case, for example, what you find here, you have only one coefficient, one. So in this case, the reaction which I have indicated above, the molecularity, this is an elementary reaction. This is an elementary reaction. This is a single step reaction. So here I can say that this is an example of bimolecular reaction. It's very important concept, molecularity and order. One question is asked in the examination repeatedly. So what I am trying to say, theoretically, I can say that one molecule of A reacts with one molecule of B. That means they are colliding to form the product C, and this is called molecularity. But when I say the order is not the molecularity, because I have shown you here what I am showing, the rate law is equal to K A power X B power Y, as you were told in previous classes that X and Y are determined experimentally. Only then I can find the value of X and Y. The order of is an empirical quantity determined by experiment from the rate law of the reaction. That's what I'm saying. The sum of the exponents in the rate equation. This is very important question which has been asked repeatedly. What is the difference between molecularity and order of a reaction? This question has been asked many times, and once we know the definition, I think it is clear from here. You have been told that order can have any value, 0, half, even negative values can be there for order. But molecularity, you will always find that since it is the number of molecules that come together, so molecularity has to be like 1, 2 or 3, some number. It has to be a complete number. It cannot be fractions. Cannot be fractions. So it cannot be in fractions, because the number of molecules colliding, they cannot be in fractions. Whereas the order of the reactions can be there. And this is a theoretical, we have already said. Whereas for order, you are saying you have to write the rate law experimentally, you have to find out. And further, it is clear that we cannot determine the molecularity for a complex reaction, which we are going to show you what is the meaning of this complex reaction, why we are talking of the complex reaction, students. See, interesting thing is this, that here I have shown examples of unimolecular reactions. What is the meaning of unimolecular? That means here molecularity is 1. What I'm saying, molecularity, how much? Molecularity is 1. Now you will ask me, if there is only one molecule, how will it dissociate? I mean, how it will react? Because the molecule will collide with what? It is an example of some type of rearrangement or dissociation type of reactions. You see, the molecules with collide with itself and undergoes a type of rearrangement. What it is undergoing? So here you can see the example which I have. This is my cyclopropane. Cyclopropane is undergoing a rearrangement to form propene. So some heating, once I heat it, what is happening? It is dissociating, rearranging in another form, which is here. So it is only a one molecule which is happening by itself. Sometimes the molecules rearrange, or one molecule is there which is unstable, it may dissociate. Therefore, we can say these are examples of the unimolecular reactions. For example, if I consider NH4 NO2, what happens is that on heating it dissociates to form N2, and what is left, you can see two nitrogens, one and one, two. So then this is H4 and O2. What will it form then, students? 2H2O. It should be 2H2O. You can see, I am not remembering anything or cramming anything. I will try to find answers also for the reactions which are taking place. And even when some dissociation is taking place, we know the atoms, which atoms it is made up of, and I can see H2O here, H2O, 2O2 and 4H, therefore water should come out. When nitrogen gas is quite stable, it will dissociate. So here the molecularity is one. Only one molecule is involved in the reaction. This is a theoretical concept. Sometimes they ask you give examples of unimolecular reaction. So I have given here two examples of this unimolecular reaction. This is the rearrangement of cyclopropane. This is 1, 2, 3 carbon. This is propene.
Sir, in unimolecular reactions,
This
one
is
molecule of a
propene.
compound will collide with the another molecule of the same compound.
Only one molecule can dissociate or rearrange. No issue. There were many examples of that. We will see that. So molecularity is only theoretically, we are saying that molecule have to collide, or they have to undergo some dissociation or rearrangement. Certain molecules do break down themselves. Now I'm coming to bimolecular reaction. You can make your notes. And
Yes, sir.
bi means there are two molecules which will collide. In the organic chemistry, you know, I have taught you something about SN2 mechanism. I hope you will go through
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
Bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction, we talked about that. And what happens, that alkyl halides, that is 1 degree alkyl halide, primary. What happens? Primary alkyl halide undergo SN2 bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction, in which we told you that this OH minus is a nucleophile. This attacks the positive carbon, and Br minus leaves, and in the reaction these two species are involved, both the attacking reagent nucleophile and the substrate or the reacting species. So this is an example of bimolecular reaction. Important point here is that even the order of the reaction comes out to be 2. And when I say order is not something which I can write by looking at the reaction. That means if I decide the order, then I have to perform the experiments and find out the order with respect to each of the reactants after doing experimental. That is an experimental concept. And if order and molecularity of a reaction comes to the same, that means it is an elementary reaction. There will be reactions in which order and molecularity will be the same. For complex reactions, it will not be possible to find the molecularity. We will show you that. So this is the second example which I am saying, SN2 reaction. Another example, if I say If I take HI, it dissociates to form hydrogen, hydrogen plus iodine. Here, there are two molecules of HI which are involved. So molecularity is 2. It is bi-molecular reaction. Here I have written another example. You can see two molecules of NO colliding with one molecule of O2. Total 2 plus 1, 3. Term molecular reactions. Term molecular reactions. So what are the? You have NO. You have another NO, and you have O2. So here three molecules are colliding. So we call it a termolecular reaction. Termolecular reaction. One of the question which is asked in the paper: can we have? Is it possible to have higher molecularity? Higher molecularity than three. Than three. This question was asked many times in the examinations. What do we think? The answer is the probability of such a collision is very low. It is not possible to have actually molecularity more than 3. The answer is no. Not possible, because it is not possible for more than 3 molecules to collide together. The question is molecule, 3 molecules colliding, probability very low. Probability low. It is not possible. The molecules are very small in size. These molecules are very small in size, and therefore, when they will collide, most of the reaction you will find are bimolecular. Two molecules collision is very easy because molecules are hard spheres and very small in size. But if I say simultaneously 4 molecules will collide, 5, no, the possibility is very little. So maximum molecularity you have is 3. You cannot have collisions together simultaneously of more than 3 molecules. Most of the reactions are going to be in this category, bimolecular reactions. Therefore, one important point is that what is the difference between molecularity and order? This question is asked many times. Molecularity, we know, cannot be more than 3. So if you say that, sir, one thing we studied is order, and second thing we have studied is the molecularity. Question will be there in exam. Very important question, I'm telling you. What is the difference? Okay. So if I say, for example, order you are saying is obtained from the rate expression. You have to use the rate expression, which is found experimentally. Whereas molecularity only a theoretical. It is only theoretical. That the molecules collide based on collision of molecules. It is based on collision of molecules and is equal to the number of coefficients. Which we write. The order can be 0, half, or any 1, 2, 3, any number, even negative. But what about this? This can be 1, 2 or 3. That's all. It is not possible to have molecularity more than 3 because higher simultaneous collisions of the molecules is not possible. It cannot be 0. Question has been asked. It cannot be 0 or fraction. Neither it can be 0 nor it can be fraction. What is the further thing which you find about this? Order can be determined for complex reactions also. But this, if a reaction is complex, it cannot be determined. Cannot be determined. Cannot be determined. It cannot be determined. Because complex reaction means if I give you 5 or 8 molecules in a complex reaction, such a higher body collisions are improbable, not possible. That shows that complex reaction takes place in certain sequence of steps, which we call as elementary steps. It can be only determined for, it can only be determined for, it can only be determined for elementary reaction. We will tell you what is the meaning of elementary reaction. So here, what I have tried to explain to you, a very important concept on which many questions have been asked, that what is the difference between molecularity and order, why molecularity more than 3 is not possible, and molecularity can only be determined for a complex reaction, Now for this, we are moving further. Okay. What is the reason we want to study this molecularity? Why you want to study molecularity? See, देखो कि हम क्या करने जा रहे हैं. यहां पर मैंने एक रिएक्शन लिखी. What is this reaction? यहाँ पे देखिए KClO3 reacts with ferrous sulfate, reacts with H2SO4. प्रोडक्ट क्या बन रहे हैं? You are getting potassium chloride, ferric sulfate and water. The question was given in the exam, what is the molecularity of this reaction? What is the molecularity of this reaction? अब हम, what will be our answer? If you say that 1 plus 6, 7, 7 plus 3, 10. Number of addition of coefficients is giving me 10, but molecularity cannot be 10. That's what I'm saying. Molecularity, we told you, molecularity cannot be more than 3. Cannot be greater than 3. Term molecular is a maximum. Therefore, I must say that this is a complex reaction. This is a complex reaction. If it is a complex reaction, what it means? It is not an elementary reaction. The reaction takes place in many steps. What we are saying here, we are coming to another important conclusion, that this reaction takes place in many steps. ये reaction एक step में नहीं हो रही, बहुत सारे steps में हो रही है. तो वो sequence of steps जो होते हैं, उन्हीं को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Mechanism of the reaction. तो इसका आंसर हमारा क्या था पेपर में? that we cannot determine the molecularity for such a reaction. We cannot determine. This question has been asked, that's why I have taken it. Molecularity cannot be determined for the given reaction because it is complex reaction. So this is a complex reaction, so I cannot find its molecularity. Then what it proves? It shows that what we are now talking of, mechanism of the reaction. Mechanism of the reaction. We are coming to another important part. Mechanism of reactions. The reactions may look simple, but when you will determine the order of the reaction, when you will determine the order of the reaction, then you will find the order is not matching with the molecularity of the reaction. Or in other words, I am coming to another important conclusion. If order is not equal to molecularity, that means the reaction is not a elementary reaction. Reaction is not proceeding in one step, That means reaction is not taking place. It is not one step reaction. It is clear, very important. Not one, it is not one step reaction. So reaction is not taking place in one step. That's what I'm saying. If reaction is not taking place in one step, I'm saying the reaction is taking place in certain sequence of steps. That is what we call as the mechanism of the reaction. Here I have told you what is the definition of mechanism of the reaction. If a question is asked to you in the paper, what do you mean by mechanism of the reaction? I'm saying the sequence of individual steps. Every individual step is an elementary reactions by which the reactants are converted into products during the course of a reaction is called the reaction mechanism. Therefore, we are saying what I am saying, that this reaction, whenever I write a reaction, I will do experiment and will determine the rate law. But rate law is giving me an order. Rate law is giving me an order which is not equal to molecularity. Therefore, I say the reaction is not a simple reaction. It is proceeding in more than one step. And therefore, we have to then find the mechanism of the reaction. There has to be some experimental evidence to find the mechanism of the reaction. Now here I am saying consider the following reaction. Come here. Very important. This I have written a reaction here. Consider the following reaction. What is it happening in this reaction? CO reacts with NO2 to form CO2 and NO. As a reaction is there, it appears to me that this is a second order reaction. I expect CO and NO2 in the reactants, but the rate law was found experimentally. Rate law is found experimentally. What it shows? R is equal to some constant NO to the power 2. Now this is a problem here. What it shows to me? Molecularity is here too. In this reaction, I am saying molecularity is a theoretical concept. So you will say the reaction which I have written, molecularity is 2. Okay, no problem. But molecularity is between CO and NO2, CO and NO2. But in the rate law, order is 2, but still there are NO2 too and no CO. No CO in the rate law. In the rate law. That is why what we have say that there is a rate determining step in every complex reaction. Reaction takes place by many steps, and there is a rate determining step. Rate. Let me check the spellings of this. There is some mistake. Rate determining step. Rate determining step. Very important. This question was asked in the examination. What is a rate determining step? See, you are saying now the reaction is taking place in many steps. The slowest step is called the rate determining step. But I'm saying the slowest step is called the rate determining step. What do you mean by the slowest step? You say that you are traveling from your home to my home for a class, supposing, and you are driving, roads are empty and clear, fast, but at a particular time there is a traffic jam. So what will happen? You are stuck there for half an hour, maximum time you have spent there. That is the slowest step. So your rate of reaching my home will be decided by the slowest step. Which was that? That step where you got struck, that was the traffic jam. So reactions also, they take place in many steps, and one of the step is going to be very, very slow as compared to others will be very fast. So fast that they not involved in the rate of the reaction. And this rate determining step will be used for finding the order. When I will find the order, it will come from the rate determining step. It will come from the rate determining step, and that is the elementary step. When we will determine experimentally, the order will be decided by the rate determining step. Which step? Slowest step, I am saying, slowest step. Now, I have taken an example of this here, very important. This example proves that in the rate determining step, which is the slowest step, CO is not involved. This CO is not there because NO2, the square, NO2, the power 2, order is power 2 of which NO2, and CO is 0. CO is 0 here. Therefore, the reaction must follow some mechanism in which the slowest step will have only NO2. Therefore, we propose that the mechanism could be, what I say that, okay, the mechanism could be two-step mechanism. I'm saying NO2 reacts with NO2. This must be a slow step. And one of the product you see here is NO. So NO will be formed. Plus some, now what is, there will be some intermediate now which will be formed, which is not there in the products. Now you have good amount of chemistry knowledge once you are my student. This is NO2. One NO is gone, one oxygen is left, and here NO2 is left. What will they form? What will they form? You can say, sir, NO3. But you are getting NO3. But NO3 is not there in the product. See that? NO3 is not there in the product. So this is a slow step. because the order is experimentally NO2 square, NO2 square. Then what will happen in the second step? Then reaction will take another step. NO3 now is not required. NO3 is not required. What it will do, you have CO here. See the CO? CO is not involved here. So it will attack the CO, carbon monoxide. And this is going to be a fast reaction. Fast reaction. CO, carbon monoxide, you know, is a very powerful oxidizing agent. You know, already we have some idea about the chemistry reactions. This has a great affinity for oxygen. It will snatch an oxygen from NO3. What will be the product then? You can tell me very easily now. CO2 plus what is left out then? NO2. NO2. So this reaction is fast, this reaction is slow. And what is the net reaction? Net reaction, if I add these two, you add these two, add these two, add the two, add the two, add the two, what will happen? Now you yourself know what is going to happen. See, this NO2 gets cancelled with this NO2. And this NO3 gets cancelled with NO3. What is the result? Same what we gave you. The result is CO plus NO2 produces CO2 and NO. Very interesting. Very interesting. Therefore, you know what we had tried to show you here. Very important point. What is that important point? That the reaction which looks to be, whenever I give you a reaction and experiments you do it, then you find that, oh, the rate lies totally different, not as per expected of the balanced stoichiometry of the reaction. Naturally, it proves that the reaction is proceeding through more than one step. And therefore, we are in need of the mechanism of the reaction. And mechanisms are determined experimentally. How do we determine experimentally? There are many ways of doing it, which is not in our course. So I'm not putting much time on that. Isotope labeling and so many techniques are there by which we can find out the intermediates involved. Now I'm talking of one more term, intermediates. Very important, we will use in other things also. Intermediates are involved. What is happening? That the reactions are proceeding through intermediates. There is some intermediate which is not there, which is not in the product, not in the product. And this has a short life. This has a short life. Life is very short for the intermediate. But is formed. What we say in situ. In situ means within the reaction. And survives only for a short period of time. Can be, seen by certain machines or instruments. Just like we say that this has a very short life. This actually then gets converted into products. This gets converted into the products. As you will see in the reaction which I listed, which is the intermediate in CO plus NO2 gives CO2 plus NO. Here NO3 was my intermediate because it was formed for a short period of time. That is why its life is very short. It is so reactive that it will react very fast with the CO and you will get the products. And it gets used up in the reaction. used up in the reaction. Therefore, you know what is the use of molecularity, why I need molecularity. It is a theoretical concept. Question will be there in the exam. What is the difference between order and molecularity? And we have told you that it is not going to be possible to have very high molecularity because such collisions are not possible. Such collisions are not possible. Another example I have, you see here, I have a reaction 2H2O2 in the presence of I minus alkaline medium is giving me 2H2O and O2. What is the reaction here? I am saying 2H2O2, and you can see on the top I minus and alkaline medium, alkali. What is happening? You are forming 2H2O plus O2. So it appears that the rate of the reaction should be H2O2 power 2, H2O2 power 2. But the experimental rate is this one. After experiment, I find, what I find? That the rate is coming H2O2 and I minus power 1, power 1. So the reaction is first order with respect to H2O2 and first order with respect to I minus, which is not there in this side. As in the product, you don't see any I. In the product, there is nothing like I here. Interesting, very interesting case of the reaction, very interesting case of the reaction. Therefore, we can say that we have to be, this reaction is not an elementary reaction. This is not an elementary reaction. This must be taking place in more than one step. So we have to propose mechanism for the reaction. What is mechanism? I go back again. Here what I said. The sequence of individual steps of elementary reactions by which the reactants are converted into products during the course of a reaction is called the reaction mechanism. And the overall rate of the reaction is determined by the rate of the slowest step called the rate determining step. Now, as I said, you should have a good knowledge of chemistry when you propose a mechanism, and after that experimental support should be there. I must be able to verify through experiments, yes, this is a possibility. There should be some experimental evidence available. So here I am saying, okay, I will be able to write two steps for this reaction. First step clearly indicates that there should be H2O2 and I minus. So I will write H2O2 plus I minus should be there. Since it is a rate determining step, it must be slow. This should be the slowest. The slowest step is what you call as the rate determining step. Rate determining step. They will ask you a question, what is the rate determining step? Now, if it reacts, you can see the product is H2O. Product I have H2O. And what other is there? If I take H2O, what is left? What is left? Then you are left with I and oxygen. Oxygen is more electronegative than I. I can write it IO minus, IO minus. See, I'm also trying to teach you that how to write the equations. No, I don't remember the equation. It's not possible to cram the equation, students. What is our goal? To understand any reaction which I write. My purpose is very simple. To decode the chemistry, to decode the NCERT book. Most of the questions in NEET are from NCERT book. But those students who understand it, they will be able to do it. And those students who have not understood what is written there, they can only make guess. Guesses are never right. So you are already aware of that. I told you very clearly that you will not make any guess in the examinations. You will know actually what you are doing. How you can know? When you understand basic concepts and you know the reactions, how the reaction take place, how the reaction take. I cannot remember everything, but I can try to see from the knowledge of the chemistry what is happening. That's why I'm trying to explain to you every step. Now, number two, this is not existing in the product. This is not existing in the product. I call this as intermediate. This is my intermediate. Okay, you agree with me that you have understood the idea of intermediate. This will only be there for a short period of time. This is not stable, very reactive. These are not stable. You are saying they are not stable. They are reactive. Organic chemistry, you see a lot of carbocations, radicals, and all those, they are formed. So they will be highly reactive species. That means they will immediately try to attack somewhere and go to more stable compounds. Something which is not stable, it will react with something to become more stable. So what will happen? This IO minus will react with what? There's plenty of H2O2. You have large number of molecules of H2O2. So what will they do? What will they do? Here you will have this oxygen is there minus and H2O is there. Oxygen is there and H2O is there. What if I see water is formed? Water is formed and oxygen is formed. You also see in the product, you know, you are already getting an idea here. O2. Where it is coming from? O2, O2. This is getting oxygen. Oxygen. So how much is gone? 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen and 3 oxygens. 3 oxygens gone. What is left then? You are left back only with I minus. I minus. So what is the net reaction? What is the net reaction? Net reaction here. If I write the net reaction, the net reaction will be what? Net reaction. What will be the net reaction here? What cancels? This cancels. And intermediates is not there. This intermediate is gone. 1 H2O2 and 2 H2O. What is left then? 2 H2O2 gives me 2 H2 plus O2 plus O2. So here you are able to get what you are able to get. Let me write it properly. This is colliding with it. O2. That is a reaction which we told you. Therefore, this reaction was not simple. This reaction was not simple. The molecularity, if I ask you what is the molecularity of the reaction, you will say 2. There are 2 molecules. It is a theoretical concept. Theoretical concept here. But the story is that when I determine the rate of the reaction is this one. Rate is equal to this one. Rate is equal to K, H2O and I. So if this is the reaction, what is the rate? What is the rate of the reaction? You can write rate is equal to slowest step. Rate is determined by the slowest step. Which is the slowest step? K, some constant. Here the slowest step is H2O2 and I minus. And this step is very fast. So it is a fast step. It is not involved in the rate determining step. It is not involved in the rate determining step. Therefore, we have shown you a very important concept today in these lectures. What are those two concepts which I told you? In today's lecture, we told you what is molecularity of the reaction, what is the difference between molecularity and order of the reaction. Then I told you why molecularity more than 3 is not possible, because simultaneous collision of these molecules not possible. Then I told you what is the significance of the molecularity. Why we want to study molecularity when it is not an experimental concept? Because molecularity leads us to show that the reaction is not a simple reaction and is proceeding through some steps. And those sequence of steps in which the reaction proceeds is known as mechanism of the reaction, And for determining mechanism, some experimental evidence is required. But with the knowledge of chemistry, we propose a mechanism and then we perform experiments to verify. Certain intermediates are formed, which I told you they are not stable. Here intermediate was formed. And in this reaction also I showed you NO3 as an intermediate. They are reactive in species, they are unstable, they are formed only for a short period of time, will immediately react and will not be formed in the products. It will happen in most of the reactions which we will study. I hope this lecture was important, interesting, and you could understand what we said. We will give you a video recording of this also, and a PDF of this will also send to you. Therefore, I end up my lecture here and will meet you in my next class. Okay, we'll see you in our next class. Bye.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you have noted everything,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes.
we will provide you with the PDF also.
Okay, sir.
Very important things were discussed.
So, sir, this intermediate can never be isolated. This intermediate can never be isolated.
No, they exist only for short period of time.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, as you already know, in the periodic table, 118 elements have been listed. Those species which are highly unstable elements, they may be produced only during the course of nuclear reactions, and we cannot isolate them. They don't exist on Earth.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.